Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a review for you of this guy. This is the Olamic Wayfarer 247 knife. This particular guy is apparently named Ollie, and I want to thank my buddy Mitchell for sending Ollie along here to have a little journey here. So first off, a quick size comparison for us. We got ourselves a Spyderco Delica here, so we can see this is not a small knife. The blade comes in just under 3.5 inches. We have the Ontario Rat number 1. And rat number 2. And, what the heck, the Graham Razel. As it's sitting on the table right here. So, again, not a small knife, but at the same time, not that huge either. So, there you go. One other thing to point out is that this is a design by Vagnino, who has been putting out a lot of really good stuff. Lately, he's done some work with Kaiser and otherwise. And so, yeah, it's a great little design here. So let's go ahead and talk about the good, the great, the bad, and the ugly of the Olamic Wayfarer 247 right here. Okay, so on the good side, first and foremost in my mind is the action on this knife. This is a knife that's got a pretty strong detent to it, but it's also got a pretty long flipper tab, which helps to overcome that. But the end result is that this knife fires like nobody's business. When you hit that flipper tab, it deploys, and it deploys beautifully. It's a joy to flip, I'll say that, and it fires in any position 100% reliably. The action on this knife is very, very good. And so, yeah, this is a great flipper. This is a flipper's flipper. I am a big action snob, and in the deploy, I agree with this 100%. This was well done here. They also give you the option to open two-handed via this little hole here, because, let's face it, something that hits that hard can be a little bit scary to some people, so that's nice. It's got all the features that you would hope for in a knife kind of at this higher price point. You've got yourself a lock bar insert that also serves as an over-travel stop, so you can't go too far in this direction. The tent is ramped on there. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see this, but you probably can from this side. Yeah, there you go. See, there's that little cutout in there? It's more visible in the disassembly video, but that basically just makes it easier for the detent ball to get back onto the blade. And it is noticeable. It is a much... that's a thing that I wish more people would do, because it makes the close on the knife a lot more pleasant. So that's a nice little feature there going on. You got some other things that are going on that I like a lot. You've got the clip here uses a ceramic, I believe... I think it's ceramic, ball here to roll really onto the pocket. It's a fixed ball, but it really smoothly goes into the pocket and out of the pocket. There's still enough retention, no problem there, but that's a really nice clip. I'm a big fan of that. The blade on this guy is good. You can see here it's got kind of a, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's kind of a spear pointy thing, but a little droppy. I don't know what the heck this blade is doing, but whatever it is, I like it. It's a little on the thick side, but it's not too thick, and it's an L-Max steel, which is 100% good to go. So that's nice. I'm a big fan of some of the little details on this knife. For instance, this is a silly thing, but it brings me so much joy, the backspacer gap here. And if you look at the disassembly video, you'll see that these little posts are machined right into the backspacer, so it's just beautifully uniform throughout, and the end result is something that looks really, honestly good, and is a little more interesting than had they just done it as a flat closed backspacer, something like that. So it's a very nice show of precision in here, and the end result is nice. So I'm a big fan of that. Backspacer is good. The last thing in the good list that could probably be great as well, the ergonomics on this knife are really, really great. This is a knife that doesn't make all that much sense to the eye immediately, because you've got this weird, I mean, the butt on it is just huge. But the thing is, once you put it in your hand, you're like, oh, that makes sense. And the angle on it is just perfect. This feels great in the hand. Really, really great. I mean, incredible in the hand. I'm a big, big fan of this knife in my hand. It just feels great. You could choke up here. I wouldn't recommend it. But in this position, you've still got enough control. You're still close enough. The ergos on this knife are just absolutely stellar. I am a huge fan of it. And it really locks in a way that very few other knives do. Although this texture isn't particularly grippy, the fact that you've got so much going on here inside your grip means this is not going anywhere, even if you are working in the Vaseline factory. So there's your good. The action on this guy is great on the fire. It's absolutely stellar there. It's got a lot of little nice features. over travel stop, bald clip, detent ramp and whatnot going on. I love the back spacer. That's a nice little detail. The blade is good and is made out of a great steel, and the ergonomics on it are just, they're great. So let's now jump into the great, which, like I said, could be the ergos too. What's really, really great about this knife, to me at least, is the fit and finish. The fit and finish on this knife is quite literally impeccable. You all know me. I am really good at finding things to complain about when it comes to fit and finish. But I got nothing here. Everything they have set out to do, they have done perfectly. I may not agree with all the design choices. There's still a couple of little things that I'd prefer to see different. But what they have set out to do, they have executed perfectly, and I respect the heck out of that. And at $375, which is the street price of this guy, this is the least expensive knife I'm aware of that hits that mark. Maybe the Spyderco Bowie, depending on the one you get. But this is just, it's perfection in a lot of ways. And so that's great. And that really blew me away about this little knife here. Really impressed with Olamic there. So that's your great, the fact that it's damn near perfect. Let's go into your bad, because there is a little bit. Okay, so on your bad side, first off, it does use a proprietary pivot. You can see this here. It's kind of a snakebite security screw sort of thing. However, and you know, proprietary pivots, I hate, or proprietary any kind of screws, because generally it just doesn't make sense. These are tools that you're going to have to maintain yourself. Why are you preventing me from doing that? But the thing is, they did it right, in that alongside the knife, in every package, they include a tool that lets you take the knife apart. That, you know, you just use these little nubs, and it works fine. I used it in the disassembly video, and, you know, that's no problem. The other thing is, I did confirm, very often proprietary screws mean your warranty is void if you take it apart. That's part of the little cash grab they got there on maintenance. I contacted Eugene. Not only did he say, no, your warranty is 100% fine, take it apart, whatever, no problem. He also threw in the fact that he's thinking about switching back to Torx for some future versions, so that's a beautiful thing too. So yeah, proprietary pivot, but honestly, this is about as well done as you can do a proprietary pivot, in that he gave me the tools, it doesn't really affect the warranty, and so it's really no big deal. Another thing that is not a huge deal is that this knife doesn't close so smoothly. It doesn't really drop shut in the way that some other knives do. Here's your Graham Razel Mid-Tech. This guy really does drop shut under its own weight, as opposed to this guy, which really doesn't. That said, I really understand it. It's got a fairly lightweight blade, all told, and also it's got this really strong detent, which leads to this incredible opening action, but also increases friction on the blade as you're dragging it through there. So, you know, it'll smooth out with time, I'm sure, and it's not bad. And functionally, all you really need to do is give it a little effort with the finger there, and it pops right shut. But it is not kind of a smoothness showpiece in the same way that some of your other higher-end knives can be. I mentioned earlier the blade stock's a little bit thick, but with the swedge and the grind here, it's not bad. This is not a knife that's hindered by its blade stock particularly. It is a little bit big in the pocket overall. It's bigger than the Delica, which is already a pretty wide knife. And it's got this flipper tab, which is very prominent and does tend to kind of peck at whatever else is in your pocket there. So, you know, you've got a pocket pecker if you... Oh, that ain't right. No, I'm not going to use that phrase ever again. You have a woodpecker in your pocket that is attacking everything else in the pocket. We're going to move on right now. All right, finally, the last issue I got with this knife is that it is a little on the heavier side. You're looking at 5.02 ounce. Oh, pocket pecker, Nick, what the heck were you thinking? I shouldn't talk. 5.02 ounces. That's heavy. That's good and heavy for you. And, you know, it's not so bad. It's not out of line. And I carry heavier knives regularly. Here's the Graham Razel that's coming in at 6.4. But it is about the same weight as the Rat 1, which is also a pretty heavy, beefy knife. So this is a lot of titanium. There's no interior milling or anything like that going on here to reduce weight. And as a result, it feels like it's balanced a little bit further back than I'd like. I feel like the center of gravity is someplace in this range here. And so, I don't know. It's not bad, but I would like it to be maybe milled a little bit more, a little bit of drilling, something like that, would bring me a little bit of joy and knock the weight down just a bit, because there is just a lot of titanium here. So that's your bad. It's got the proprietary pivot, but they make up for it nicely. It's not a super smooth closer, but honestly, it's more than sufficient for everyday life. The blade stock is a little on the thick side. The knife is a bit big in the pocket. It's got a little woodpecker thing going on here. And the knife is a little bit heavy, although again, it's within range. In terms of your ugly, honestly, I'm not seeing ugly here. Yeah, just flat out. So this knife is just so damn well done. There's nothing. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the final verdict. So the final conclusion here is just that this is a gem, 100%. No two ways about it. I am really impressed by this knife and by Olamic Cutlery at the moment, or Olamic Tactical, I guess, is this division. Probably throw that one in bad. Olamic Tactical? This is tactical, really? Anyways, moving along. Name aside, they've hit a really great balance, and I've got a lot of real respect for them there, because they're doing just as much as is necessary for this to be a great knife. They're putting in a great action, using a great blade with a great steel, using great materials, and then they're doing it perfectly. The fit and finish on this is incredible. Everything they set out to do in this knife, they're doing really, really well. They didn't try for something super, super fancy. They didn't do extra inlay work or anything like. Everything that they did here, they just did perfectly. And they sell versions on top of this with some tweaks, you know, a little Damascus inlay and clip and things like that. And that actually adds a little bit more flair and is extra interesting to me. But basically, for $375, this is a really, really great option. I mean, that's a lot of money, but you're getting it out of this. They have earned that price point 100%. And, you know, in this kind of price bracket, someplace between your $300 range, which is Sleesh Bowie, and your $400 range, where you start getting into your Chris Reeve, your Tylock, your Umnums on, this is a really, really great choice. And a really excellent knife. So, honestly, just well done, Olamic. These guys really knocked it out of the park with this knife. And keep it up, please. I want to see more stuff like this out of you. Particularly, I'm keeping a close eye for anything in the 3-inch range. The moment they announce a 3-inch knife, I am pre-ordering it. I don't care what the heck it looks like. Could have Z Hunter skulls on the side of it. And at this point, with this kind of fit and finish, I'm freaking all over it. So, anyways, this is a solid gem. And if you are anywhere near the fence, go ahead and pick one up. I think you're going to love it, because I really do. It's one heck of a knife. So, Mitchell, thank you for sending this along. Olamic, well, freaking done. Keep up the good work. And everybody else, check this guy out. I think you're going to love it. Have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of your day.